Siren Head.
Siren Head is a tall, skeletal creature created by artist Trevor Henderson.
It is usually described lurking in forests, deserts, or abandoned places, standing completely still until it chooses to move. Its body is thin and distorted, but its most disturbing feature is its head replaced by two loud sirens.
What makes Siren Head especially terrifying is not just its appearance, but its behavior.
It can mimic sounds with extreme accuracy.
For example, you might hear a voice of someone you know screaming for help, and when you go there you see a long, thin creature waiting for its dinner.
Wendigo.
It comes from Algonquian folklore, primarily from Canada,
and it is strongly tied to winter, starvation, and isolation. It is often described as a creature that grows stronger the more it consumes, especially through cannibalism. Its horror is deeply psychological. The Wendigo represents an endless hunger that can never be satisfied. According to legend, the Wendigo is either a terrifying monster that stalks the freezing wilderness or a spirit that possesses humans. Traditionally, a lost traveler who is desperate to survive the starvation transforms into a Wendigo, after committing the ultimate taboo, which consuming human flesh. SCP-106, also known as the Old Man. It is a decaying humanoid entity that can pass through solid matter as if it were liquid. It is slow, patient, and intelligent in its hunting behavior.
Instead of killing immediately, it drags its victims into a corrosive pocket dimension where everything is rusted, decayed, and broken. Victims are not just physically harmed, but psychologically broken as well.
The true horror comes from the feeling of being trapped somewhere in a place that feels like an unknown void. A place where escape is almost impossible and time loses meaning. And you start imagining if you can survive this, or this is the story of your Skinwalker.
Skinwalkers come from Navajo folklore and are said to be beings capable of transforming into animals or humans.
In modern horror interpretations, they are often portrayed as entities that can perfectly imitate voices, appearances, behavior, and can perform basic tasks too. Their fear factor comes from trust being destroyed.
If something can look like your family, speak like your friends, and behave normally, how do you know what is real anymore?
Skinwalkers turn familiarity into danger, especially in isolated environments where you are forced to rely on your senses alone. Imagine sharing your bedroom with a family member without knowing it's not them anymore.
SCP-096, known as the Shy Guy, is part of the SCP Foundation universe. It appears as a tall humanoid creature with a fragile-looking body, but its behavior is what makes it horrifying.
If anyone sees its face, even through images or recordings, it enters an uncontrollable state of rage and begins pursuing that person.
No matter the distance, terrain, or obstacles, it will continue moving toward its target until it reaches them. The fear comes from inevitability. You don't need to provoke it intentionally, just seeing it once means it's a game over for you, and there's no escaping it. Brion.
Brion is a botanical weapon, and one of the 5 threats from the Dark Continent in Hunter's Hunter.
It was discovered inside the Dark Continent in a forest region that leads into the ruins of an ancient labyrinth city.
Brion appears as a large floating sphere positioned above a humanoid body, like a headless statue with a massive orb replacing the head. In terms of abilities, very little is confirmed. It acts as a guardian of the ruins and attacks intruders with overwhelming physical force. It wiped out an expedition team effortlessly, leaving only 2 survivors. It only has one goal: attack and destroy anyone or anything that enters its territory.
God Hand.
The God Hand are the highest-ranking demonic entities in the world of the manga series, named Berserk. Unlike most monsters, they rarely fight directly. Instead, they manipulate events from the shadows, influencing fate itself, and guiding humanity towards suffering and chaos. What makes the God Hand terrifying is their scale of power. They exist beyond normal human understanding, and can alter reality, create monstrous apostles, and control the destinies of countless lives. They don't need to chase or hunt their victims, because entire kingdoms, wars, and tragedies unfold according to their plans. The horror comes from realizing that your choices may never have been your own, and that you are merely a piece in a game controlled by beings far beyond human comprehension. Cthulhu.
Cthulhu is one of the most famous cosmic horrors ever created, described in the works of Cthulhu. It is portrayed as a gigantic, otherworldly being with a dragon-like body, massive wings, and a head made of writhing tentacles. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in the sunken city of R'lyeh, it lies in a death-like sleep, waiting for the stars to align so it can rise again. Unlike typical monsters, Cthulhu does not rely on physical attacks or hunting instincts to create fear. Instead, its horror is psychological. Its presence alone can shatter the human mind. Even a glimpse or partial understanding of its true form can drive people into madness, as the human brain cannot comprehend something so far beyond natural reality. This makes it less of a creature and more of a force that breaks perception itself.